Hello, everyone. Today we are going to take a break from the chair yoga. We're going to do something a little bit different. This is basically some gentle reclining leg stretches, along with a wonderful restorative pose, and then we will do our shavasana. So, for these poses, you're going to need a strap. Now, if you don't have a strap at home, you can use anything that is similar to a belt on a bathrobe, okay? It needs to be made of cloth, not the stretchy things. You can use anything like that. So just, whatever you have handy. We're also going to need some blocks for this, for the restorative pose. Now, if you don't have blocks at home, a nice stack of heavy books, thick heavy books will also work really well. So go ahead and grab your supplies, and then you can lie back on your mat. Okay. Let's begin with the legs extended. And you can relax your arms wherever they are comfortable. And I just want you to take a couple of long breaths. And we're just taking a moment here to kind of get centered and just pay attention to, how you feel. Just take a moment. Okay, so when you're ready, go ahead and bend your right leg. Bring that knee in towards your chest. We're going to gently squeeze the knee in as we exhale. As you inhale, you can stop squeezing and allow your body to expand. And just continue doing this as you breathe, very naturally. Okay, so go ahead and release the right leg. We're going to do that same pose on the left side. So as you exhale, very gently squeeze that knee in. Inhale, soften just a bit. Exhale, squeeze gently. Okay, release your left leg. You can extend it, give it a wiggle. And then go ahead and bend both of your legs. We're going to drop our knees out to each side. Have the bottom of your feet touching. Now, if you like, this is totally optional, but One thing you can do with your blocks here is kind of place them under the outer leg, the upper leg here, for support in this pose. You don't have to. We're not going to be here very long, so if you are, ever doing this pose as a restorative pose, that's a really nice way just to support the legs. Okay, a couple of long breaths here. Go ahead and bring both knees in and then both knees toward your chest. We're going to wrap our arms around our legs. We're going to squeeze both knees in. If you like, you can lift your head some of the time. Okay, and then release your feet to the floor. We're going to cross the right knee over the left knee, just like you're crossing your legs. When you're ready, you're going to bring both knees in towards your chest, and you're going to grab on to the left knee. Okay, so again, you can have your head lifted some of the time. As you exhale, very gently squeeze the knees in. Now another way you can do this is take your lower legs out to each side, grab onto the lower legs, and squeeze the knees in. And just keep a nice, easy breath here. As you inhale, the body very naturally wants to expand. The legs move slightly. As you exhale, give your legs a little squeeze. Okay, you can release your legs, feet back to the floor. When you're ready, cross your left knee over the right knee. So same thing here. You can grab onto that right knee, give your legs a little squeeze, or take the lower legs out, grab onto the lower legs, squeeze the legs in, feel the stretch, and just be easy about it. Be extra gentle. Try to relax as you do this. Nice moderate stretch. Okay, release your legs, extend both of your legs, give them a wiggle, take a big breath. And then bend your legs, drop your knees out to the sides, bottom of the feet touching. This time, let's take our arms over our head. You can have them bent and completely relaxed. Just a little bit of a pause here. Okay, once again, bringing the knees in. And we're going to go ahead and grab our strap for the leg stretch. So this is one of my favorite ways to stretch the hamstrings, just because, you know, we're reclining and the spine is in a neutral position. It's really all about the legs. Oftentimes when you're, you know, doing forward bends and everything, it's more challenging. The spine is involved. So this takes the spine out of the equation and lets you focus more on the legs. So we're going to have the left leg bent and the left foot on the floor. And we're going to take the strap around the ball of the right foot. Okay, so I am only taking my right leg up as high as I can keep it straight. Okay, so that's about it. Now I'm not locking my knee. Okay, so if you're up this high but your leg looks like that, that's no good, okay? It's better that you're way down here, if that's where you need to be, as long as the leg is straight. Okay, so I find it easiest to have my right arm extended, holding both ends of my strap and just allowing my left arm to relax on the floor. So what I'm going to do here is begin to really feel the back of my body, especially the back of my pelvis area, the back of the hips. And I'm going to, every time I exhale, I'm going to give weight through the back of my body. So kind of like I'm pressing the back of my pelvis into the floor. Now as I do that, I am also very gently moving my heel toward the ceiling. Okay, so this is going this way, heel is going that way to emphasize the stretch. And I'm just kind of doing it super gentle with my natural breath. So you can begin whenever you're ready. Inhale, kind of do nothing here. As you exhale, you're going to emphasize the stretch very gently, giving weight through the back of the body, very gently moving the heel toward the ceiling. Inhale, relax. Exhale once again, emphasize the stretch. Inhale, relax. And just do this with every breath. And the movement here is very subtle, okay? You may not be moving much at all. Okay, so now let's go ahead and straighten or extend the left leg. And let's bend the right leg, bring that knee straight down toward the floor. The lower leg stays vertical, okay? So you may find that you don't even need the strap here, but definitely use it kind of like that if you need it. Another thing you can do is just use your right hand and grab the outside of the foot. So again, very, very gentle here. Just do what you can do. And just take some long breaths, relax. And I'm trying to keep my pelvis
Mostly straight, so it's not, totally necessary. Sometimes I like to play and take that knee to the floor as I bend the left leg. And obviously this hip, this side of my pelvis is moving up, okay? But I'm trying to keep it mostly level, when my leg's extended. Okay, go ahead and release the right leg and just extend that leg, little wiggle. And just take a second to pause. Notice the new energy in the right leg, the right hip, compared to your left side. Okay, so we're going to start with both legs bent once again. The right leg is going to stay bent. The right foot will be on the floor. And we're going to take the strap around the ball of the left foot. I'm just trying to straighten my pants here so you can actually see that my leg is straight. I'm going to take it up only as high as it can be straight. You don't want to lock the knee. This side may be a little different, that's fine. Just do what you need to do. Sometimes it's even a good idea to have a look at your leg if you don't know if it's straight or not. Okay, so again, I'm using my left arm here, right arm is relaxed on the floor. And I'm just going to take a moment and get like super heavy in the back of my body and really feel the connection to the ground. And as I begin to breathe, with my inhalation, I do nothing. With my exhalation, I emphasize the stretch. So I'm pressing the back of my pelvis into the floor gently, and I'm moving the heel just slightly toward the ceiling to help emphasize the stretch. It's a subtle movement, a gentle stretch, and you're going to do that with every breath. And just notice what you feel here. The breath is easy. Again, you may notice something different on this side. Okay, so let's go ahead and extend the right leg. And you can begin to bend the left leg. The lower left leg stays vertical, left knee moving toward the floor. And you can use your strap like this. You can let go of your strap and just use that left hand. And just be super gentle about it. Okay, so easy breath here. And just kind of, you want to feel like you're kind of riding a wave. So as you inhale, notice what happens in the body. Notice the expansion. Notice what happens as you exhale. Maybe on the exhalation, gently emphasize the stretch by moving the knee toward the floor. Okay, release your left leg, extend it, give it a wiggle. And then once again, bend both legs. We're going to drop the knees out to each side and have the bottom of the feet touching. Another pause. Okay, so bringing the knees together, and then let's roll to our right side. Excuse me. So we're going to grab just above the left ankle. Now you can rest your head in your hand like that. You can also extend your arm and rest your head down. Basically, we're just going to stretch the upper legs here, the thigh area. And I'm just moving my leg back very gently. Okay, just a gentle to moderate stretch here. And I'm just going to hold it in place. Let the breath flow. And I like to have the bottom leg bent for better support here. Okay, let's release that leg. And then go ahead and roll on to your left side. You're going to do the same thing. So again, I've got my bottom leg bent. I'm going to grab above my right ankle and very gently move that leg back. There's never any force involved. With every breath, I just allow the stretch to very naturally deepen.
Okay, you can release your right leg. And then once again, roll onto your back side. And this is where we're going to be using the blocks. We're going to do a restorative bridge pose. This is one of my favorite poses just to kind of hang out in for several minutes. Usually 5 to 8 minutes is what I like. So the restorative bridge pose, there are a couple of levels you can use with your blocks. If you don't do back bends very often, if they're challenging for you, you might want to start with the lower level. That's using one block under the sacrum, okay? Another level is turning the block so that it's on this side, resting your sacrum here. I like to use 2 blocks together. That's usually what I do. That's about the right height. And sometimes it can be a little tricky getting into this position. What I do is usually move into bridge pose, so my hips are lifted, and then I kind of just maneuver the blocks underneath. It's the easiest way that I've found. Okay, so just have them nearby, ready to kind of wiggle underneath you. And let's have our feet about hip width apart. And just take a second, get heavy in the body. And at the end of your next exhalation, you're going to press through the heels and allow the hips to float up. Okay, so one important thing about this is just look straight up toward the ceiling. Try not to turn your head from side to side. Once your hips are up, you can wiggle the blocks underneath you, and you're going to rest your sacrum on the blocks, okay? So right there at the top of the buttocks. And I'm very slightly moving my chin toward my chest. Your arms can be wherever they feel comfortable. And the breath is easy. Try to find a little bit of softness throughout the body. And notice if you can be even more at ease. If you are lost in your thoughts, come back to what you feel.
Excuse me. Okay, so we're getting ready for the final resting pose, Shavasana. You can certainly stay in this pose if you feel completely relaxed. You know, this is a great pose for Shavasana. You can also come out of the pose and move into any other pose that you like, any other resting position. So to come out of this, you're just going to take the weight into your legs and feet, lift the hips, remove the blocks, slowly roll down. If you are coming out of this, you may want to bring your knees in towards your chest for a few seconds. So again, feel free to move into any resting pose that you like. I love legs up the wall, the pose that we were just doing. I do that often for resting. And since these blocks are handy, I'm just going to take them and put them behind my knees right now. Let my legs be slightly bent and just relax here. Make yourself completely comfortable. And continue to soften throughout the body. Just kind of feel your body melting into the floor, becoming heavy and more at ease. And notice how everything feels now. Giving yourself permission to slow down and tune in. Taking the next few minutes here to rest deeply. And please stay here as long as you like. Thank you so much for being here today and sharing your energy. Namaste.